Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
It's seasons of change, resilience, and opportunity. It's building a future and honoring the past. It's a love for cows and providing quality milk and dairy products for the world. And none of it's possible without U.S. registered Holsteins, the world's perfect cow, and the people who raise them.
I think registered Holsteins, they're the most efficient, from a production standpoint. Pounds of milk, pounds of fat, pounds of protein. I mean, they do it with ease.
Being able to farm and produce a product that is full of nutrients and is nourishing for the world population is very satisfying, and it's just rewarding to be able to do that.
This is Holstein America. Hi, I'm Michelle Davidson, and this is Emily Bosch of Holstein Association USA. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm happy to be here with you today, Michelle.
And thank you so much for you at home for joining us for this very special episode of Holstein America. We have a great show ahead, and Emily, it couldn't come at a better time.
That's right, Michelle, because it is June Dairy Month, which is the perfect time to celebrate our dairy farmers, the Holstein cow, and of course, all of these delicious dairy products that they provide us with.
There are so many great products to celebrate. My favorite? The cheese curds.
You can't go wrong with the cheese curds, Michelle. But no matter what dairy products you choose to enjoy, whether it's milk, cheese, or yogurt, they all provide so much foundational nutrition for both adults and youth alike. Just one 8-ounce serving of milk provides you with 8 grams of protein, 25% of your daily calcium needs, and 13 essential nutrients. That's a lot of bang for your buck, Michelle.
A lot of bang for your buck. And what's also so incredible is that we enjoy these delicious dairy products thanks to farmers working day in and day out to care for their cows.
Absolutely. And today we'll get to meet some of those very special farmers from across the country. We'll see how they set their lifestyle around the Holstein cow. And we'll also get to see dairy farming in all 4 seasons: spring, winter, summer, and fall.
This is the perfect way to celebrate June Dairy Month. Thank you so much, Emily. Up first, springtime in the South. We travel to Big Sandy Creek Dairy, about an hour east of Atlanta, where a family is committed to sharing farm life and their Holstein cows with others.
My name is Caitlin Benkoski. My family owns and operates Big Sandy Creek Dairy Farm in Madison, Georgia. We do outreach through agritourism, loaning cows out through 4-H and FFA, and a lot of different activities that we've had come up along the way as well.
We're a small family farm, 80 milk cows, south of Athens, north of Madison, out here in the country.
In Madison, Georgia, it's nice most of the time. As far as the South, it's a great place to live, raise a family, and farm.
My grandparents came down from Connecticut in 1947 and built our first barn here. That was the first above ground parlor in the state of Georgia. Now it's my parents and my sisters and I that are here on the farm regularly. Apparently I was very involved in farm practices at a very young age, and so I went to our church preschool, which my mom helped found. And at the preschool one day, I used my sandwich bag to teach my class how to breed a cow, like artificial insemination. So got an early jump on sharing the farm with other friends. So then our classes came out here.
They wanted to come out and see the cows, and then it started blossoming. I think we got more and more people that didn't realize what a cow was or where the milk came from.
So then it was like, well, we've started this, why can't we do this for other kids? Because our food chain has changed over time, and we wanted to make sure that kids had the same experiences that our children have.
Our Our farm tour system, it started small and it's definitely evolved over the years in how we do it, what we do. We have a really good system now that we're really proud of.
So today's farm group, we hosted a homeschool group, and our first station, everybody went into the barn to see Rosie get milked. And so you go in there, you have the opportunity to ask some questions. Then Farmer John attaches the milking machine. You can see the milk come out. The questions we try to address are, where does milk come from? What color does milk? Is there a strawberry cow? Is there a chocolate milk cow? Some of those questions are silly, but it gets people thinking. Then we go into the milk room where the milk is stored so that they can see that. There's a thermometer for you to see. You can touch the milk tank sometimes. They ask a host of questions there. We explain that homogenization and pasteurization process and make sure that they understand that our milk is a quality USD verified product. After they do that, they come out here to story time, and we try to read a story depending on the age group, and we show them milk where the cream has risen to the top. We've got some butter churns that you can churn butter with. And I think one of the highlights of our trip to the farm is the hayride. You go out into the pasture, the cows are out there, so they come right up to the hayride. We put out grain on the ground so that the cows can eat that. Then they come back, and then we try to give them ice creams, and then we have a goodie bag for the teachers to take back to the school. I think the feedback that we get is over the top. You know, we do a good job, and I'm proud of the job that we do.
The Holstein cow has played a big part in some of what we do to educate others. Obviously, we believe the Holstein cow's superior. Sorry to our other breed friends. We love the genetics of the Holstein cow, the production. We've evolved the genetics over the years, only using registered sires in our herd.
But when you do it registered cows, you can go back in history, you can tell all the ancestors how far it goes back and where the connections are. And it helps you decide what bull you want to breed to.
It helps us with the genetic process, looking for what Farmer John likes. When you're going to spend time going out to the pasture to get up cows, you're doing the milking process, and then you want them to go out, your investment is collecting milk, and so you want to make sure you have a top producer.
I think, we're a small farm, but I would hope to expand our agritourism in the future. I think agriculture is extremely important. Taking care of your farmers first ensures national security because you ensure your food supply. So I think for the future, we really need to back the American farmers so that we can always be self-sustainable.
Wisconsin, America's dairy land, is home to thousands of dairy farms and families who are committed to this way of life. Among them is Alpha Lawn Farm, operated by the Steyer family, which is always evolving to meet the demands of modern-day dairy production.
My ancestors came over in the 1850s and actually homesteaded just up the road from here, and so we've been farming here ever since. We own and operate Alpha Lawn Farm. We milk about 2,300 cows and farm just under 4,000 acres of cropland. Back in 1981, we lost our barn to a barn fire. I was a freshman in high school, and we lost half the cows. I had one show heifer in the barn. She died, and so we built back. I didn't have a lot of say at the time because I was pretty young. I had a couple older brothers and dad and mom. But as a family, we decided 132 cows tie stall barn with a double 6 herringbone. Springing heifers were $2,200 a piece. It was 18% interest rates. It was tough times. And back then we thought 50, 60 pounds of milk was a lot of milk out of a cow. I think, going through the hardships that we did back in the 80s and applying some of that to what we're doing now and how to make things more efficient and keep moving ahead. I like the varied work, and working with the family. We feel like we're at the point with a lot of things on the dairy where we're doing a really good job at management, at feeding the cows and getting them bred back and taking care of the young stock, getting our best calves. All that stuff we feel like we're doing really well on, but we still have cows in the barn that are making 20,000 pounds, and we have cows in the barn that are making 50,000 pounds. And so there's still a lot of room for improvement in genetics within the herd. when you have that big a variation from animal to animal. So that's why we're really focusing on Holsteins.
Springtime on the farm is an exciting time of year. The guys want to get in the field, you want to get the corn planted, you're anticipating when is first crop hay going to be done. So there's so much going on. Working with my husband every day, I'm not going to lie, it has been rewarding and I wouldn't want it any other way. We get along so well, and the sense of family and just being able to work together, and for the kids to have the involvement, I think that was the most rewarding thing, raising our kids on the farm and watching them grow up into the adults that they are today.
As a young person in agriculture, even though there's a lot of challenging days, I think that there's a lot to be excited about in agriculture, especially within the dairy industry. The ultimate goal is to make the herd as profitable as possible, and I think a lot of that starts with genetics. And I think Holstein USA has provided some useful tools, whether it's being able to look up an animal in a few seconds online and see a genomic profile for her, getting an animal genomically tested really easily, or even being able to order a pedigree through Holstein and have it arrive pretty quickly. There's just a lot of data that's readily accessible.
We really enjoy using custom ear tags from Holstein USA. It's really handy to be able to go out in the barn, look at a cow's ear tag and see, oh yeah, her dam is number 1, 2, 3, 4, and her sire is XYZ. We can go back multiple generations and see the production records in the family, and it's been useful for trying to better the genetics of the herd overall and the productivity of the herd overall. It means a lot to me to still be involved with the farm and be here nearly every day helping with different things. Up until I was a senior in high school, we milked 450 cows here. And then the summer after I graduated high school in 2015, we expanded the farm up to 2,000 milking cows, and we put in a rotary parlor. So it's changed a little bit, going from helping mom and dad milk cows when we had a double 12 parallel parlor throughout my childhood, and then going to now our 60 stall rotary parlor, and just seeing the different innovations and technology and the different sustainability practices that they've put to use out in the fields with cover crops and the manure application and things like that. It's been really neat to see things kind of adapt and change and stay modern over the years.
When people really talk and think about sustainability, dairy farming to me is about as good as it gets, because you're taking crops off the field, you're feeding the cattle, you're producing things that people can eat. Every gallon of water that we use on the farm, we use 3 to 6 times over. We try to conserve as much as possible. We use sand for bedding. Sand is it's a very hard thing to work with, but it's very good for the cows, and we just love it for bedding. So everything that we do is kind of geared towards taking the stress off the cows and making sure that no matter where they are at in their daily cycle, that it's as stress-free as we can make it. So all of our dry cows, all of our milk cows are on sand bedding. We have a McClanahan sand separation system in, so we recycle about 98% of our sand. I think it's just important to pass things on to the next generation better than what we found them.
Being able to farm and produce a product that is full of nutrients and is nourishing for the world population is very satisfying. There's such a small percentage of people that are actually active farming that can do that, and it's just rewarding to be able to do that for the world.
When Holstein America returns, a conversation with Holstein Association USA's CEO, Lindsay Warden.
The decisions you make today, they never stand alone. Each one impacts the next, because on your dairy, everything is connected. It takes more than just powerful tools to get the most from your operation. It's about how they work together and how they're supported that illuminates whole new possibilities. Only a full solution portfolio can connect what you need, when you need it, where you need it. That's the power of Empower.
All our cattle are registered or identified through Holstein. The registered end of it and the genetic end of it has always been interesting to me. How can she reproduce, make good offspring? So I think the registered Holstein cow has been a big part of that. Gives me more interest than just a day-to-day like milking a cow. We found that's really nice to have the ability to look backward as we move forward.
Your milk quality can be greater through stronger defense against disease. It can be improved through genetic insights. And it can become better through hardier, healthier cows. Your milk can be more.
St. Louis, Missouri is a vibrant metropolis located in America's heartland. Commonly referred to as the Gateway to the West, this eclectic city is famous for its iconic Gateway Arch, loyal sports fans, and blues music scene. And it's the site of the 2025 National Holstein Convention. Tell your friends to meet me in St. Louis, June 23rd through the 26th. Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. With me now is Lindsay Warden, Chief Executive Officer of Holstein Association USA. It is so great to have you here with us.
Thanks, Michelle. It's great to be here.
Now, you started your role as CEO back in January. Now, you're only the 10th person to hold this role in 140 years. That's amazing. Describe what that means to you.
Yeah, so it's a real honor and a privilege. I love working alongside our Holstein team, in and out every single day, and of course our awesome members that we have from coast to coast and the dairy farmers that we have in this country. And it's just, I've been a lifelong breeder and Holstein enthusiast myself. And so it's just it's a responsibility I take very seriously. And it's something I feel very grateful for. And, I grew up looking at my registered Holstein papers, my registration papers for my own cows, and seeing the executive secretary's signature on the front of that. And to realize now that that's my signature and we're mailing out hundreds of thousands of documents every year to our members coast to coast, it's very humbling.
What is it about the U.S. registered Holstein that sets her apart?
So I really think when you think about the strength of the U.S. registered Holstein cow, you've got the genetic diversity of our breed, you've got the production power of the cow, and just the versatility of the cows. And so when you look at the production, U.S. registered Holsteins produce more pounds of milk, fat, and protein than any other breed in the world. And that's what our dairy farmers get paid for, so that's very important. And when you think about the genetic strength of the breed, I think it's really cool that when I talk to farmers and they tell me about their goals, whatever goals an individual farmer has, whatever they think is going to make them most profitable, they can find the genetics in our breed to make those kind of cows. Our cows are very versatile. They thrive around the world. And I think in a lot of ways, the Holstein cow is a symbol of American agriculture. You see the iconic black and white spots in the dairy case in the grocery store. And I think families can come in and see that and get excited about that nutritious product that they're going to take home to buy. And so I think that's really neat about our breed.
What are some of your priorities for Holstein Association USA this year?
Yeah, so we have a lot of really neat and exciting projects that we're working on. But when it comes down to it, I think our priority is enhancing our member experience and supporting the people behind the cows. And so a big project we're working on is our My Holstein online web portal that we launched last summer. The first component of that our members have been able to enjoy is the ability to order their ear tags through our site. And it's been adopted very, very well. We have a lot of people using it, and the member feedback's been great. So we're looking to add on to that online portal. So soon we'll be able to have customers order their customized ear tags through the site, and eventually they'll actually be able to use it to register their animals through this online portal. So we're very excited about that. And then as far as other things we're working on, with my own transition into my role, we've had some other staff move into some new leadership roles. And so we're really just focusing on our communication internally, making sure we've got great communication and collaboration between departments so that ultimately we can provide the best member service possible.
Always moving forward. Thanks, Lindsay. And next, we continue our journey through the seasons with summer in New Hampshire and a family who has served the local community for 5 generations.
We're here in Kentucook, New Hampshire today at Bohannon Farm, and we're also home to Kentucook Creamery. We love having our registered Holsteins. They're something that's pretty special to us. And I'm happy to be farming with both my brothers. Mom and Dad are both still here. and I get to see him every day. We're a 5th generation farm. We started in 1907 when my great-great-grandfather fell in love with a girl across the river, decided that he needed to buy the land on the other side from her and start a farm. Every generation has always brought more ideas to the farm. They've always been progressive. They've always grown the herd. They've always adapted. They've always known that we're gonna stay farming here. In order to have the next generation come back, we had to figure out a way to bottle our own milk, sell our own beef, and grow some vegetables. Because milking 1,500 cows, that's not gonna happen in New Hampshire. We don't have the land base, we don't have the resources, and so we had to diversify the farm. My mom and my dad decided to make Kentucky Creamery, which turned into what we are today. We started bottling off-site, doing about a day's worth of milk or so out of the week, and we grew from that, trying to go around to local grocery stores, mom and pop shops. From there, it kind of exploded. We put our own plant on site in 2019, and now we're bottling all of the milk that we produce and distributing it ourselves to about 150, 175 different independent grocery stores. We also do beef, and we've got our butcher shops where we bring it there and then we deliver it ourselves. What's really neat to me is to be able to grow, raise, and deliver everything in about a 45-minute radius. She's one of my favorites. We register our Holsteins because we think it adds value to them. We've got some deep family lines that go back to when we were showing in 4-H as 10-year-olds. And we've got some that we're pretty proud to brag about. What was really special to me this past year, I got my first excellent cow that I bred. What was really impressive to me to see was how specifically they've taken their fat content from 3.2 to over 4%, which is a massive increase. And what that shows is we focus so much on our feed, our genetics, our animals overall. We've improved the breed tremendously over the last 20 years. And I think that aside from the production that they can make, they're very good temperamented cow, as well as being able to be the most versatile cow. I love seeing the next generation come down the line. We feed everything else on the farm. They always have free choice. There's always fresh feed in front of them. So why weren't we giving that to the calves? We made some boxes that keeps the milk heated after we pasteurize it and acidify it so it can stay warm all day. It's pretty incredible how much milk you can get into a calf if you just let them have it. And the health of the animals is much better. Definitely something that has improved the farm a lot, and you can see it translate through into the milk production for the cows. My favorite thing is that the calf barn is so quiet. One of the best ways that we've improved our herd recently is we've gone to all sex semen and using beef semen on the bottom 50% of the herd. Right now we're breeding about 50 to 60% to beef, and I've been extremely impressed with how the sex semen can improve the herd more rapidly. I'm excited to see where we'll be in the next 10 years with them. It's pretty significant that for us, we've built something that we all want to come back to. We're growing the 6th generation, and we're gonna be here for the next 100 years.
In addition to June Dairy Month, this time of year is so special because the National Holstein Convention is right around the corner. What's in store this year?
So we're really excited to welcome our Holstein friends and enthusiasts to St. Louis, Missouri, June 23rd through the 26th for the 2025 National Holstein Convention. And we're expecting over 700 adult and junior members to come take part in the activities. And I've been with the Holstein Association for 18 years, and I can honestly say that our National Holstein Convention is always one of the true highlights of the year. So we've got a jam-packed schedule of activities. We've got a full day of farm tours that people can enjoy. We have a day of expert speakers that will have come in and talk about a variety of topics. We have an elite cattle sale. We have a trade show that people can come and learn about the latest technologies in the industry. And of course, we have our Holstein USA annual business meeting. And then happening alongside of all this, we have a lot of activities for the junior members. So we've got competitions, social activities for them, and some award recognitions to honor all of their hard work.
It sounds like a must-attend event for everyone in the dairy business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you hope that members will take home from the convention?
Yeah, so I think one of the great things about our convention is the camaraderie and networking that people have the chance to do with members and dairy farmers from across the country that really have the same passion, that they do the same interests. And so it's always fun for me when I go to the events and I see people that are longtime friends. We have families there. We have kids that might be attending the convention for the first time. And so it's just a really unique opportunity for them to come together and talk about one of their true passions with other people that share the same interests that they do. And so I think that's really special. And so ultimately what I hope everybody comes and has a great time. I hope they come feeling informed, inspired, and excited to come back next year.
All right. Well, again, that National Holstein Convention is June 23rd through the 26th in St. Louis. Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it. All right, when Holstein America returns, how tomorrow's leaders are learning and growing through the National Junior Holstein Association.
Bovolus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow, so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
We raise registered Holsteins because we're able to use all that information that Holstein provides us to create cows and calves that are really what we're looking for, whether that's from classification, whether that's from the pedigrees. It's really a way of us being sustainable for the future of our herd, for the future of our family and our employees. That information has been very important to where we have gotten to today.
A single glass of milk is more than a tasty treat. It packs a nutritional punch with over 300 milligrams of calcium or 8 grams of protein. That's 20% of your daily requirement. Or 30% of vitamin D. Or 25% of vitamin A. Or, well, you get the point. Raise a glass to the world's perfect cow and celebrate June Dairy Month with Holstein Association USA.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
We're back with Emily, and the future of the dairy industry is always top of mind for Holstein Association USA and the Holstein Foundation. Emily, tell us about how you engage in the next generation.
Absolutely, Michelle. There are so many wonderful opportunities for our junior members through the national organization and the Holstein Foundation. For example, at National Convention each summer, juniors can compete in everything from a public speaking contest to creating scientific display boards to a knowledge-based team competition. Juniors can also participate remotely in our Spring into Action seminar each year, our virtual interview contest, and other members choose to show their registered Holsteins at shows across the country as well.
So many great opportunities for them to grow themselves.
Absolutely. It's so incredible to hear about the impact that these organizations have made on our junior members.
It's great to hear. Next, we catch up with National Junior Holstein Association members who share what the experience means to them.
I started in Junior Holstein when I was in probably middle school age. When I first started, I was so shy, I was so quiet, and I think over the years I've seen myself grow into this new person. Through doing things through Junior Holstein, I've learned that hard work will get you to where you want to be. Nothing in this life is handed to you, and if you want something, you really have to put your head down and work for it.
There have been so many opportunities that I have gained through being a member of the Holstein Association, especially the junior programs. It really sometimes seems like, oh, you're just showing cows, but it's so much more than that.
You know, it's just like one big happy family. So as soon as you become a member, you're involved, you're in it, and you meet all these people that form great relationships.
By getting involved with Holstein Association USA, I was able to attend national Holstein conventions, state Holstein conventions, and national shows where I was able to network with other people in the industry. It also gave me kind of that courage to get involved with the association.
Juniors are here competing in Dairy Bowl, Dairy Jeopardy, display contests, speeches, the Distinguished Junior Member Contest, from public speaking to dairy knowledge to studying and researching, like things you need in life.
I was the vice chair of the Junior Activities Committee this past year, where I got to work with kids from across the state, and it was so enjoyable to spark that passion that was sparked in me so many years ago.
My leadership development has been immense. I had many mentors and peers that I looked up to and wanted to strive to be just like them. And it really prepared me for all of my experience thus far by working with people, being passionate about what I do, which is talk cows and make friendships with those who share that passion.
The National Junior Holstein Association has really done a lot. I started off just competing in Dairy Bowl and just listening to questions and practices and like making connections with what I'm doing at home on the farm. The knowledge you learn and the people you meet along the way, that really is the main benefit that you gain from participating in stuff like this.
Every single day we're learning something about genetics, nutrition, but then also being able to take that and teach younger junior members has been truly an incredible opportunity.
Whether you come from a state with a huge association or you come from a state with a small association, you fit here, which is something I love about the Holstein Association. Everyone who has a passion for dairy and the Holstein breed is welcomed here, and I love that.
You will truly meet so many wonderful people. I think the best people in the world are involved in the dairy industry. I can say for a fact my very best friends I've met through Dairy Bowl practices and judging practices and cow camp and the state junior convention.
The connections you make allow you to find new opportunities. You know, when I go to interview or I have contacts on my resume, just the connections I have helped me along the way.
Making those connections, forming those bonds, learning how to make friends and meet new people is a great perk when you're younger, and you'll get into the professional perks and the soft skills and the interview skills as you get a little bit older.
National Junior Holstein, being a member, has really meant the world to me. It's just meeting all these other kids that I would have never met through this awesome organization, and knowing that where they're going in their future and knowing where I can go in my future.
There are so many experiences inside of the Holstein Youth programs that are for career building and are extremely important as you move into wanting to apply for colleges and working for a job post-graduation.
I've always had Junior Holstein to tie me back to the industry, to connect me with those lifelong friendships that I've made, make me a more powerful public speaker, improve my confidence, improve my interview skills. I hope I can transfer that to a really active and long adult membership as well.
The camaraderie and friendship that we have all developed is something that I cherish. When you can fuel that fire in the next group of kids coming up and leave the Junior Association in good hands with new leaders that are just as passionate, just as creative as you are, is something to be really excited about.
We now turn the corner into fall, a season of transition. Established in the late 1800s, Grafton County Farm is a landmark in the historic New Hampshire countryside. And at the heart of the operation, a high-quality herd of registered Holsteins.
I've grown up farming my whole life. Ever since I was a kid, it's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. So we're here in North Haverhill, New Hampshire at the Grafton County complex where there's a working Holstein dairy farm. We've got a jail where the inmates come out and work with me. We have an active vegetable stand. We have potatoes and the winter squashes and then the pumpkins and stuff that we sell across the street at our farm stand. And also there's an active nursing home, and some of the county administrative offices are also located on the complex. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. It's a busy place. The farm originated back in like the 1860s, that area, like a poor farm with the idea of people working during the fall, spring, and summer, that type of stuff, so they had a place to live during the harsh winters. And then as far as the jail, that was kind of a part of it. As the inmates that are sentenced, they come out here to work, or they can work in the kitchen or something in the jail, and it, take off a percentage of their sentence. So I'll have a lot of people out here that have never worked on a farm in their life. They do really well. It's they learn, basically just how to work. These inmates are just as human as I am. They just made a mistake that they gotta own up to. So I've always kind of taken it as trying to teach them something. I've been here, this is going on my 13th year as the herdsman here, working with Holsteins. We do all the registrations, and it's neat to see just how accurate doing the, genomic testing and that type of stuff can improve the herd that much. They used to have herd bulls, so I asked my manager at the time if I could start using AI, and his thing was, hey, the cows is your thing, do what you can do. So over the years when I started, our herd average was right around 20,000, and we've had it as high as 31,000. The farm is definitely being noticed, and to me, I think it's through having the cows being registered. I mean, we do that, the complete program, and just being able to, to get the calves registered at a young age at, no cost basically. And then, I'll sit in front of a computer and just mix families and try to get the perfect cross that would work here. And to me, if it wasn't for something like that program, I don't think we would be as high as we are, with our genetics or the improvement that I've seen. I learned a lot from my dad, and just watching him through the years. My dad was also a dairyman, and he worked constantly trying to make the herd better. We have the nursing home here, and my dad is now a resident. He's got Parkinson's, and it's just bad enough he needs to be here. But I can't say enough good stuff about him. It's just crazy as far as he'll ramble off, all these cows, like when we were walking through the barn, he remembers cows from, even though his mind is starting to go a little bit, he can still remember cows from back when I started, and families and connections and that type of stuff. I'm hoping it's gonna be really good for him that he can come out here and being around the cows, and a lot of the stuff that I've picked up through the years came from him. I know I overdo on hours, but I love doing what I'm doing. I always want to get better out. There's always a way to get better. And the genetics, over the years, have definitely increased. We've gotten the Progressive Breeder Award, I think the last 6 or 7 years. Back in, I think it was 17 and 18, we won the Herds of Excellence Award, which is really neat for me, because I know what that means, as far as where the farm has gotten to. Success stories, I think that's probably the coolest thing. I've had guys come out of here and go work for other farms, artificial insemination, and other people have started their own vegetable stand. They learned it from here. I've had guys that have left here that have kept in touch with me and say, hey, if it wasn't for working here and working with me, I probably wouldn't be where I am now.
Holstein America will be right back. Stay with us.
The decisions you make today, they never stand alone. Each one impacts the next, because on your dairy, everything is connected. It takes more than just powerful tools to get the most from your operation. It's about how they work together, and how they're supported that illuminates whole new possibilities. Only a full solution portfolio can connect what you need, when you need it, where you need it. That's the power of Empower.
The value of registered Holsteins is the generations of breeding decisions and the breeding decisions that you can make with the information that you know. They milk better, they live longer. Everything that we do is hinged around these Holsteins, and I don't think we would be nearly as successful as we are today without the support of all of the people that I got to know as a young junior Holstein member, and then the continued support as an adult member.
As a dairyman, everybody has a memory, a connection, a bond, if you will.
Dad would get me up in the morning and I would help him deliver milk. So everybody knew Ideal Dairy.
Failure is always an option. The reason we're here at all is because of all the decisions that generations of our families made.
We were really passionate about keeping it alive.
My dream is to build something that lasts so that the next generation can continue to make their mark.
A single glass of milk is more than a tasty treat. It packs a nutritional punch with over 300 milligrams of calcium or 8 grams of protein. That's 20% of your daily requirement. Or 30% of vitamin D. Or 25% of vitamin A. Or, well, you get the point. Raise a glass to the world's perfect cow and celebrate June Dairy Month with Holstein Association USA.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. Holstein America is made possible thanks to support from Merck Animal Health. Here's a message from our sponsor.
Arizona Dairy Company milks 3,250 registered Holsteins and farms 6,000 acres in southwestern Arizona. Efficiency, cow care, and continuous genetic improvement are top of mind for owner Justin Stewart.
We've been in business for about 51 years now. Last year was our 50th anniversary, and that's a long time to be in business. And one of our goals is to keep going. I think it's really important as part of that goal to pass on a legacy and pass on the good genetics that we're trying to achieve and efficiencies. We're trying to achieve that efficiency every single day.
A few years ago, after moving the dairy from Mesa, Arizona to its current location in Gila Bend, Justin installed Sense Hub Dairy Behavior Monitoring Technology.
Sense Hub had the most accuracy day in and day out, minute to minute, second to second, and then providing that data to us in an easy to read environment. The biggest overall impact of the collars has been time and money. It's saved our employees time and helped them detect health events and heat events, and they're able to find that quicker and more accurately. Knowing when the cow has a health event or a breeding event and the peak of that breeding time, that's a game changer. You know exactly when to breed that cow.
Sense Hub Dairy technology includes automatic sorting gates to bring even higher levels of efficiency and cow care.
The sort gates have helped us in many ways. As you can see behind me, we don't lock cows anymore, ever. So when you don't lock cows anymore, they're going to eat, they're going to be happier, they're going to produce more milk. Sort gates have helped to bring the cows to us. Merck Animal Health and Sense Hub technology has been a real game changer for myself and my family in our day-to-day operations. It helps us know without a shadow of a doubt how our cows are doing.
Greater efficiency and better cow care. Merck Animal Health, changing my game for the better.
Bovalus Nasalgen 3 offers young calves unrivaled protection against devastating respiratory diseases, including IBR, PI3, and BRSV. And it has a unique blue shadow so there's no second guessing which animals have been vaccinated. To up your protection, choose Bovolus Nasalgen 3 PMH, the first and only intranasal that protects against viral and bacterial pneumonia. Talk to your veterinarian and visit nasalgen.com to learn more.
Best thing about being a registered Holstein breeder is meeting a lot of people from around the country and having the opportunity to travel and see some of my genetics in different countries. You go to Holstein convention where I meet a lot of my friends from around the country. That's why I value being involved with the Holstein Association through the contacts of the people I meet and keep in touch with.
Holstein America is proudly sponsored by Merck Animal Health. At Merck Animal Health, we are shaping the future of animal health with innovative biopharmaceuticals, superior dairy monitoring solutions, and the Allflex portfolio of identification products to fully empower you to care for your cows with confidence.
Welcome back. Emily, we visited dairy farms in the spring, summer, and fall, and that brings us to the winter.
That's right, Michelle. We'll get to see 2 examples of how dairy farmers care for their cows no matter the weather. In this next segment, we'll see Ty Atkin, a first-generation farmer, and his story is special because he's taken a real interest in the genetic selection and performance of his registered Holstein herd.
And Ty is also involved in Holstein Marketplace Sires. Tell us about that.
This Holstein Marketplace Sires program was created for breeders just like Ty. He's able to retain ownership of his bull while Holstein Marketplace Sires helps with the marketing and sales aspect. Of course, any dairy farmer can be involved in the program by purchasing semen for one of our almost 20 bulls in the Holstein Marketplace Sires program.
Thank you so much, Emily. And let's get right to it. Progress and performance at Atkin Way Holsteins in Northwest Ohio.
I always dreamed of having my own farm. Didn't grow up on a farm at all. Was always interested in it for whatever reason. Wanted to have my own herd of cows, my own farm, raise a family here. And I guess I just didn't let anything stand in my way. I just kept that goal in mind and pursued it. Big part of that is my wife. She grew up around cows. Her dad, Ron, he's been a great help to me. I probably couldn't do this without him, helping me get started and allowing me to come to his farm, pretty well give me the ropes, you know, to let me farm the ground and do what I need to do. You know, one thing led to another. I loved it. I really enjoyed working with cows and the family. You know, when I started out, I bought into some good cow families back, 14 years ago. So I think that has laid the foundation for us here. I do things a little different. I think a cow was meant to be a hay mow, not a grain bin. I've always bred for a lot of type. High udder composite, good functional feet and legs. A rolling herd average around 24,000 pounds. We're running a 4-3 fat, maybe like a 3-2 protein. I feed a really high forage diet. Right now I think it's 80% forage, consisting of corn silage, alfalfa haylage, a little bit of triticale haylage, and some dry grass hay. I think registered Holsteins, they're the most efficient, from a production standpoint. Pounds of milk, pounds of fat, pounds of protein. I mean, they do it with ease. Pedigrees are really important to me. Follow pedigrees a lot, like building on pedigrees. We can go back 20 generations out there on some of these cows. I mean, that's cool. I'm really picky on the bulls that I use. I mean, they gotta meet a certain criteria. So Dominion at Holstein Marketplace Sires. He's a Seamer's Hardy, is what he's sired by, out of Danica. I kept the bull, genomic tested him, got his numbers back. He looked really good. So somebody told me to call Tim Zimba at the Holstein Marketplace. So I called Tim and sent him over what information he needed and gave me a more definite answer. This bull, he's intriguing. We like him. After this last proof run, he went up. We'll take him in. So I think what they're doing there, Holstein Marketplace Sires, I think it's a great thing. Putting more emphasis on the breeders, our bulls, just like their motto. by breeders for breeders, and Holstein coordinates marketing and sales of the bull's semen. You know, through the registered Holstein cow, I've met so many good people. From where I started to where I'm at now, I'd never dreamed of being in the top 5 BAA for herd size in the country. Won Premier Breeder multiple times here in Ohio at our national show. You look at the list of people that have won the National Distinguished Young Holstein Breeder Award. For my name to be with those names, it's kind of unreal. It was a huge highlight. You know, very humbled to get that. It means a lot to me. So, you know, whether you meet them at a local show or you meet them out at World Dairy Expo, the people that you meet and make connections with along the way because of the registered Holstein, you know, that's pretty neat.
From one dedicated dairy family to another. In the heart of Ohio, Velvet View Farms has built a name for their delicious yogurt and ice cream. And it all begins with their commitment to U.S. registered Holsteins.
Our family bought this farm in 1948. It's beautiful, and it's very peaceful. It's pretty much our own little world out here. We farm about 200 acres and milk 30 registered cows. It's always been a farm back to a land grant from President Madison.
The Sloughs moved here in 1948. I think Dad and them took it over. Him and his brothers took it over probably early 60s. I know Mom and Dad bought it in 1970, and then it got the registered prefix for Velvet View in 1973. We got into processing the milk back in probably 2009, 2010. We make yogurt and ship it quite a few colleges and grocery stores. Then we begin bottling milk, and I think that'll be well received and should about wrap up the rest of the milk we have each day. We like a bigger, good frame cow, good feet and leg cow that can last for years and produce multiple generations of high-scoring cows for us. The dry cow barn, it has 3 generations over there that are 94-point cows standing.
There's nothing better than looking at a registration paper and seeing all those stamps, watching a cow start at maybe 83 and get up to that 94. I love those papers, the older cows that have all of that.
This gives us a way to trace that pedigree, to breed from it year after year after year. And the same thing with the sire selection. It gives us those pedigrees to study off of and build off of.
We like to be able to see the ancestry of all of our different generations and like look back at how much we have influence and be able to see the Velvet View prefix across the United States. We're able to keep track of like have our BAA score at the end of the year every year and keep watching it rise.
It's just showing that we care a lot about our cows to put the extra effort into having them registered, keeping those records. Just shows the pride we have in our farm. My children and grandchildren represent the 4th and 5th generation of dairy farmers here. We try to have lots of outlets for each of our children to have their niche on the farm. Logan likes to do the crops and Wyatt is into the IVF center. Logan delivers our ice cream and yogurt 3 days a week to the colleges and places that we sell it to.
I label and stamp the bottom of these cups and then organize it in a way that my husband can load it and take it and deliver it.
And then we also started ice cream about 1.5 years ago, and we have an on-farm grab-and-go store.
The grab-and-go service, it's open 24/7.
If you want ice cream, you can stop in, and people do at all hours of the night.
People come to buy our product from all over, Millersburg, Nashville, just all over Ohio. Even from the Pennsylvania line, people are coming out here and buying, and a lady has started up a food truck and she buys our ice cream and sells it.
They love it. They love coming here. They'll be like, we stopped and looked at your cows. We just love coming out to the farm. They sit on the benches to eat their ice cream out front.
I work at the ice cream shop in Shreve, Village Creamery and Grill.
And so I get to see the ice cream being made here, and then I also get to serve it and tell the story of this farm when people ask. That aspect is really great, especially because I've seen the behind the scenes, and then I get to see the customers enjoy it there too.
People love to know where their food comes from. They love looking at a farm family, and it's been really good for us. We've really connected with a lot of people through the ice cream and the yogurt business. It's special to see the registered animals and what they can do for you.
There you have it, the 4 seasons of dairying. And now to enjoy everyone's favorite treat in celebration of June Dairy Month. Thank you, Lindsay and Emily, for being here.
Thank you, Michelle.
And thank you to all of our audience for tuning in, and to all the families who've shared their stories in our journey across Holstein, America. Here's to America's dairy farmers. See you next time.
Cheers.